Okay. All right. So this is pretty close to what would be good. This is not. The orange down here, those bursts of activity are not what a brain should do. It's picking up something else, so that's bad. And these little bursts aren't great, but we could certainly record from this. Like if the kid looked like this, we would just do it. This is good enough. That's the heart rate down here. That blinking is normal. Then you'll start to see, you'll notice some other jumps that are in here. These are normally picking up on things that are going on with Miranda's eyes. Those are blinks, or she's moving some muscles in her face. This one here is when you move your eyes side to side. Okay, so yes, that's side to side eye movement and stuff. She's looking around. If we're actually recording the video, I can see her looking around. Stop smiling, Miranda. So there was a bigger head movement, and so you saw it got much noisier. Now she's sitting still again, and it calmed down. So we're just going to look at the electrode offsets for a second. All these are supposed to be within 50 to minus 50, within that range. This one over here, EX8, that's fine. It's not. We don't use EX8. So these actually all look pretty good. Okay, so Miranda, if you wouldn't mind, please pretend for us that you are eating. Okay, so those are that's jaw movement. Okay, so you can stop. So if there's these sudden sort of bursts and it doesn't even look like the kid's moving that much, they might be doing something with their mouth. How about Miranda, just sort of like clench your teeth. So yeah, so that's muscle activity in her jaw that's messing everything up. Okay, you can stop. If you wouldn't mind, just don't raise your shoulders, but just tense your shoulders. Or laugh. Okay, that's laughing. That's what laughter looks like. So raise them up. So raise them up. So that didn't do too much, right? I mean, there's some noise that's in there, but it didn't do too much. That's mainly because she's laughing. Okay, Miranda, do a button press. Okay, do another button press. So you're not seeing the button press because she's not doing anything crazy and her body's mostly still. Okay, so Miranda, please press the button with your elbow. So that was a little bit wonkier, but still pretty good, actually. All right, you're seeing some spikes on FP2. That's the blue. That's the blue one here, and some spikes over here on FP1 and AF3. That's because that's just like facial movement stuff that we try to process out. Not much you can do about it. Okay, Miranda, do you want to like move your feet up and down a lot, like you're tapping your leg? So you see a little bit. It's a little bit noisier there, and now she's moving her head back and forth. Okay, so Miranda, why don't you just like look where the child person would be, the child examiner. Can you do that again? So you see a little bit of noise from her turning to the side, so we don't want her doing that. Can you lean your head back? Just like look towards the ceiling. So like that's obviously not good. Things went a little crazy when she's doing that. We don't want her to do that. Miranda, what are some other common movements that people do? So like that's kind of noisy, whatever that was. She's just moving her hands around. Okay, now let's have. Do you want to pull off one of your eyes? Your eyes. One of your eye electrodes. Okay, so did you guys see that yellow that went all crazy for a second? That was the eye falling off. But now you can't really see it so well. There's like these random things going on down here. She's playing with it, so that's why it's showing up. But if it were just to sort of be sitting there, it's not going to necessarily do that. So it's kind of hard to tell. But this sort of suggests that something fell off. Do you want to stick it back on? As best you can. Okay, pretty good. And And then let's take one of the ears off. So there, it's the same kind of thing, right? You see that burst of activity, and then it kind of just like disappears. Mm-hmm. So you can't know necessarily from looking at this that it's fallen off unless it keeps moving around, which is bad. However, if you went to the electrode offsets, you would see all of a sudden it's like shot up the top. That's because it fell off. And it's going crazy because it's not attached, and now it's back on and it looks normal again. So Miranda just attached it. Okay, I think that's good enough. So Miranda, you want to just like sit still for a minute? Just so we can get it to calm down again. So like what you're seeing right now, that's pretty good. That's what it should look like more or less, except for these little spurts here and here aren't great. But look at how much that's calmed down since when we first started. So that's pretty good. And one last thing, Miranda, can you close your eyes for a little bit? So if she does this for long enough, you would start to see some changes in the signal back here. But everything is just kind of calming down a little bit because she's more relaxed, she's more chilled out. You notice you don't see an FP1 and AF3, you're not seeing any eye blinks anymore because she's not blinking, her eyes are closed. So the signal really looks a lot cleaner when their eyes are closed. We don't do any tasks that involve the person's eyes being closed though, but it's much more chill because her brain's not working as hard. Pretty neat, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and stop that.